Father of a Nation: How George Washington Built American Democracy. Imagine a bone-chilling winter night in 1776. A group of exhausted, starving soldiers is crossing the ice-clogged Delaware River. Behind them lies a string of defeats. Ahead, only uncertainty and the threat of death. But standing at the front of the boat is a tall, imposing figure whose eyes hold an unwavering dream of a free nation. This is George Washington, the man who would eventually refuse the chance to be a king just to ensure that democracy could live. The story of George Washington begins on February 22, 1732, in a tobacco farming family in the colony of Virginia. His father, Augustine Washington, was a moderately wealthy landowner, but George's childhood comfort did not last long. At the age of 11, he lost his father. Following this tragedy, his older half-brother Lawrence became his mentor and role model. Many people assume Washington attended prestigious universities, but the truth is quite different. His formal education was very limited. He was largely self-taught, possessing a natural talent for mathematics and geometry. By the age of 16, he began working as a professional surveyor, measuring land in the untamed wilderness of Virginia. Spending days in the dense forests, battling mosquitoes, and enduring harsh weather made him mentally as tough as steel. This early experience in the wilderness was the foundation for the great military commander he would later become. Part 2. First Lessons on the Battlefield. During the 1750s, tensions between Britain and France over control of North America reached their peak. At this critical moment, young George Washington joined the British colonial military. He was sent to the Ohio Valley to push back French forces. However, his early military career was far from perfect. At the Battle of Fort Necessity, Washington was forced to surrender to the French, but defeat did not break him. He continued fighting under British General Edward Braddock. In one legendary battle, Washington's coat was pierced by bullets 4 times, and 2 horses were shot dead beneath him, yet he emerged completely unharmed. This near-miraculous survival made him famous throughout the colonies and established his reputation for bravery. Part 3. Mount Vernon and the Spark of Revolution. After the French and Indian War, Washington returned to his estate, Mount Vernon. He married Martha Custis, a wealthy widow, and began life as a successful tobacco planter. For a brief time, peace seemed possible. But British rule soon became unbearable. The British government imposed unfair taxes on the American colonies without representation. As the slogan, "No taxation without representation," spread across the land, Washington realized that words alone were no longer enough. He became politically active and joined the Continental Congress. Due to his commanding height, calm demeanor, and military experience, he was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army in 1775. Part 4. The American Revolution: Victory from the Brink of Defeat. When Washington took command, his army was poorly trained, poorly equipped, and dangerously low on food and supplies. Many soldiers lacked even shoes. Facing them was the most powerful military force in the world, the British Army. In the early stages of the war, Washington suffered repeated defeats, including being forced to retreat from New York. But his greatest strength was patience. On Christmas night, 1776, he crossed the Delaware River and launched a surprise attack on Trenton. This daring move revived American morale and changed the course of the war. Then came the brutal winter at Valley Forge. Thousands of soldiers died from cold, hunger, and disease. Washington shared their suffering, living in the same camps and enduring the same conditions. His leadership and sacrifice kept the dream of independence alive. Finally, in 1781, with crucial support from French forces, Washington defeated British General Cornwallis at Yorktown. America won its independence. Part 5. Rejecting Power, a rare example in history. Throughout history, many victorious generals have seized power and crowned themselves kings or dictators. George Washington chose a different path. After the war, he resigned his command and handed his authority back to Congress. He returned quietly to Mount Vernon to live as a private citizen. The world was stunned. Even King George III of Britain reportedly said, "If he truly does that, he will be the greatest man in the world." However, the new nation soon faced chaos. Weak central authority and conflict between states threatened to tear the country apart. Once again, the people turned to Washington. In 1787, he presided over the Constitutional Convention, leading to the creation of the United States Constitution. Part 6. The First President and the Weight of Leadership.
Indeed.
In 1789, George Washington was unanimously elected the first President of the United States. Ironically, he did not want the job. He preferred a quiet life, but duty called once more. As president, Washington acted with extreme caution, knowing every decision would set a precedent for future generations. He established the cabinet system and appointed influential figures like Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson. Despite their constant disagreements, Washington's patience kept the government functioning. He helped establish the federal judiciary, oversaw plans to move the capital from New York to Philadelphia and later to Washington, D.C., and maintained neutrality during the wars between Britain and France, an essential decision for the survival of the young nation. Part 7. Farewell Address and Final Days. After 2 terms, 8 years in office, Washington refused to seek a third term. He could have ruled for life, but he believed leadership should change peacefully through democracy. His decision laid the foundation for the 2-term tradition. Before stepping down, he delivered his famous farewell address, warning against political division and unnecessary foreign alliances, advice that remains relevant today. He returned to Mount Vernon, where he spent only 2 peaceful years. On December 14, 1799, he died from a severe throat infection caused by exposure to cold. His death was mourned worldwide. Even in France, Napoleon Bonaparte ordered 10 days of national mourning. Part 8. Slavery and Moral Contradictions. One of the darkest aspects of Washington's life was slavery. He owned hundreds of enslaved people at his estate. Though he grew to personally oppose slavery and wrote in his will that all his slaves should be freed after his death, he failed to take strong action against the institution during his lifetime. This contradiction remains one of the greatest criticisms of his legacy. George Washington in the pages of history. Why is George Washington called the father of his country? Because he did more than win a war. He shaped the character of a nation. He taught the world that true leadership lies not in power, but in sacrifice. Cities bear his name. A towering monument honors him. His face appears on the $1 bill. Yet his greatest legacy is American democracy itself. Friends, there is much we can learn from George Washington's life, especially the courage to endure hardship and the wisdom to give up power at the right time. What do you think? Was Washington the greatest leader of the modern world? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon for more powerful stories from history. Thank you for watching.